Hi, welcome to a strength training express workout. My name is Kaylee. Today we'll be focusing on a hip hinge movement. So anytime you're folding forward, you're hinging at your hips. A rowing movement, pulling in. And we'll be doing our hip hinge movement and a little bit of other kind of standing work on one leg at a time. So you're getting the added benefit of working just that unilateral side as well as an element of balance. So all of these things are super key to maintaining really healthy mobility and healthy movement patterns from Sasha as we age. So when you're ready, all you'll need for this workout is a chair or something that you can bring your hand and your foot onto. When we do our row movements, we'll be engaging like this, and some of our single leg work, you'll have an option to use the chair for a Bulgarian split squat, as well as using the chair for some knee drivers with a little bit of support. I like to set up near a wall. I've also got a variety of weights for my dumbbells. I've got a moderate and a light weight today. If you feel strong, you might choose to use a nice heavy set of dumbbells. I'm kind of working with a lower weight today, just for recovery's sake. All right, meet me standing when you're ready to get going. You can hold onto a wall for some balance support if you'd like. We're just going to take some hip circles. So starting right out the gate, standing on one foot, feel free to use the wall or a chair or anything that's safe nearby to support you here. The focus right now is not so much on balance as just starting to wake up all of those little muscles in the hip socket, really build that neuromuscular connection, switch the direction of those hip circles. You're hearing some clicky clacky. Sasha's in the other room, making a bit of a ruckus over there. It's getting close to her dinner time. We might even say she might be even having a little bit of hanger happening. Let's go ahead and switch legs. I get it. Taking those hip circles on the other side. Again, at this point, we're just trying to get real present in the body and the joints. To move around before we add a bunch of load, go ahead and switch the directions for those hip circles. We've got a pretty quick warm up so that we can get right into our strength session today, our strength sets. All right, next up, we're going to step side to side, warming up through the outer edges of the hips. Add a little row. So kind of reminiscent of maybe a little bit of 80s, 90s aerobics here. We're just focusing on building that movement pattern, starting to move nice and smooth through that rowing motion. Just here for 10 more seconds. We're going to switch to calf raises and we're getting right to business. So I like real nice quick workouts. Go ahead and turn either to face the wall or bring a hand onto the wall. You're just going to lift and lower your heels. You can go pretty quickly here. Feet are about hips distance. You're to wake up all of those muscles in the back side of your legs, your calves in particular. Connect with your feet. All right, we're grabbing that moderate, or if you're feeling spicy today, a heavier set of dumbbells to start our first hip hinge motion. When you're ready, I'm using 8 pounds today. That is plenty for me. You could even just use body weight. In fact, I'm going to just use one 8-pound dumbbell. I'll show you a setup that just feels extra stable. So let's start with the left foot forward. Right foot comes back. Bring your right hand to a wall. So you've got a little bit of support there. We're rooting down through the left foot. The left leg is going to be our working leg. Soft bend the left knee as you send your hips back. Keep that arm, that left arm with the dumbbell, nice and loose. If you're not using a dumbbell, you can bring your left hand to your hip crease. So I'll do a couple. We're going to go for 60 seconds in this hip hinge motion. Focus on moving nice and smooth. So send your butt back, whether you're trying to sit down into a chair or maybe even close a door with your butt. But look forward or even upward. Like you're trying to look forward over a ledge or out the window. I happen to have a window right in front of me, kind of nice and watching a nice rainy day here. If you're with me doing body weight and you feel like you could add a little bit of extra resistance, maybe you grab that dumbbell. If you feel really stable here, you have the option to bring a dumbbell into both hands. If you don't feel like holding onto that wall is at all necessary or doing anything for you, we've got a couple more just like this, and then we're gonna hold at the bottom, squeezing through your glutes. Keep working so that front knee isn't moving past your front ankle. Okay, hold it at the bottom. Little pulses up and down. Think about moving up and forward and back and down. So up and forward, back and down. This hip hinge right here is moving just a tiny little bit, as smooth as you can. 5 more seconds. Switching in 3, 2, and 1. Great, so we're switching sides. We're just gonna get right into it on the other side. This time the right leg is our working leg. If you want, you've got your left hand to a wall. I'm gonna start just with body weight. Hip hinge it back, soft bend the knees, and then stand it up tall. If you're pretty new to a hip hinge movement, maybe you keep that back foot flat, and maybe you work with body weight. Totally plenty going on for me without any extra load to that dumbbell. If you're not feeling like there's much of a challenge happening here, if you're squeezing and you feel a real good connection to your glutes, you can grab one dumbbell in your right hand if you haven't already, or you might play around with using a dumbbell in both hands. All right, last 20 seconds like this, and then we add our little pulses. Keep squeezing through the glutes, keep pressing down through your right foot. So the more you push that right foot down into the ground to stand up, the more you will feel those little muscles in the back of the right thigh and glutes. All right, pulses here. So hold it at the bottom, just a small, smooth pulse. Make sure that you don't feel like you're bouncing here. So it's more about smoothing this movement out, controlling this movement, than it is about how quick you go. And then absolutely pick up the pace as long as you feel like you're in control of this movement. Ooh, it's burning quite a lot over here for 4, good, 3, 2, and 1. Set the dumbbells out of the way if you were using them. We're going to set up for a reverse lunge. So we'll start with the left foot forward. Maybe that right hand comes into a wall. We're going to step the right foot back and drop that right knee down, and then bring the right knee all the way up. Drop it down, bring that knee all the way up. If you feel pretty steady here, feel free to ditch the wall. Maybe hold on to your hips. Pressing into your left foot to rise. If you feel like you need a little bit more, option to step that foot and knee back, reach the arms up. So just get the heart rate up a little bit more by bringing the arms up over your head. So breathe in, breathe out. Keep the sides of the neck long and relaxed. Ooh, losing my balance. Set your eyes to one spot. Totally okay to wobble a little bit. That's what that wall is there for. You could be doing just that left arm overhead if you're holding on to the right. Reverse lunges. We're going to add a little balance component at the top. Take 2 more smooth rounds. Hold that right knee up at the top. I'll turn to the side so you can see. Flex your right foot and then open the right knee out to the right. Stand tall through your spine. Bring that right knee back down to the center. Open the knee out to the side. Then bring the knee back to the center. 2 more times. Externally opening through that hip and thigh. And internally closing it in. Open to the side. Hold it here. Maybe you bring your arms up overhead. So kind of like tree pose in yoga. Nice deep breaths, eyes set to one spot, 5 more seconds, totally fine to hold onto a wall, a counter, anything that feels safe, and relax it down. All right, right into the other side. This time that right foot stays grounded, maybe your left hand is touching the wall, step the left foot back, push into your right foot to rise it on up. We're moving for about a minute with most of these exercises. Instead of thinking about how many reps you're doing, See if you can think about doing the cleanest, smoothest, most connected movement pattern. Option to add the arms. When I add my arms, I lose my connection a little bit to my front foot. So I'm just going to do one arm. I'll just raise the right arm and use the left hand to keep gently connecting to that wall so that I can press down through all four corners of my front foot. Right foot's grounded down. 10 more seconds moving like this, and then we're going to add our balance work. All right, standing tall with that left knee into your chest. Maybe you're holding on to something, and then externally open through the hip. Nice and slowly, smoothly close that knee. Keep that knee up toward hip height or maybe a little lower. 2 more times, open out, close in. We're going to open out and hold 10 seconds. Set your eyes to one spot. Take those deep recovery breaths. Relax through the jaw, unfurl the brow here. Notice if you're picking up tension elsewhere in the body that you can let go. And then done. All right, shake that out a little bit. So side to side, do what you need to do. The next movement, next exercise is going to be a row. We're going to take a side lying version of a row to start. So it's kind of nice. You get to relax for a second, come down onto one side. Doesn't matter which, we'll do both. I'm using 3 pounds in my top hand. Hi, Sasha. You don't need a lot of weight for this movement. So start 5 pounds or less. Bring that dumbbell forward. Little dog love here, a little support, moral support. Punch that dumbbell into the floor. So your arms extended straight out from your shoulder. And then you're going to bend your elbow, pull that dumbbell toward the side of your ribs. Hug your shoulder blade toward your spine. Extend the arm, punch that dumbbell down into the floor, and then squeeze the dumbbell back into your side. As you punch down into the floor, feel your shoulder move away from your spine. As you pull that dumbbell in, feel the shoulder blade hug toward midline. You can rest all the way down on your bottom arm if that feels better for you. Taking those big breaths here. And really focusing on that upper shoulder as it moves away from the spine when the arm straightens and pulls in toward the spine when you bend your elbow. Choose what's most comfortable for your neck here. Maybe you play around with the position of your head. You can also always use a pillow underneath the bottom side of your head here, because we're not really targeting the neck. We don't need to add any more discomfort. Hopefully you could just focus on that good burn that you're getting in your top arm and shoulder. Couple more reps on this side. If you're done early, let yourself be done early. So much of a healthy exercise practice is building trust with your body. Trust that your body is maybe more capable than sometimes we give it credit for, but also trust that if your body tells you that it's done, we will honor that. We will always, always honor that. All right, let's switch to the other side. And that way, working out doesn't become something that you dread or something that you're afraid of or something that feels like punishment. It really becomes an opportunity to learn about yourself and practice true self-care, right? Okay, dumbbell away from the body, punch into the ground. So feel your shoulder move away from your spine as you punch. And then squeeze that elbow back, squeeze the shoulder toward your spine. Inhale to punch it out. Exhale to curl it in. So it's so important that if you want to challenge yourself in your workout, you allow yourself to do that, but you never force or push past those signals that your body gives you. There's so much wisdom. If you feel a burn in the muscles, that's oftentimes totally exactly what we're looking to create. That burn is sending the signal to your nervous system that we would like to build some muscle mass, that we're actually doing more than the body might currently feel super capable of. So we're going to ask the body to send some resources to build strength in those areas. If you're feeling pinching or numbness or anything really yucky in your joints, it's a nice indication that maybe you want to drop weight a little bit here. You can even just move with your body weight here. Feel that movement pattern getting nice and strong and healthy. And then only then do we add some weight. Last couple strong reps here, don't rush it. And done, okay. So that's our first set. We're gonna move through, again, that hip hinge motion, that single leg reverse lunge, and then we'll take another variation of a row. So when you are ready, join me with the dumbbells that you're choosing for your hip hinge. Let's start with right foot forward. So if you're using the wall, you might want to be facing the other way so that your left hand's closer to the wall. Right foot forward, hip hinge it back. Really push your booty back, squeeze the butt and stand up. Look forward and then off you go. About 60 seconds like this. Drive that front foot down into the ground. Push down through the base of the right big toe, through both sides of the right heel. Another option, if you don't have a heavier dumbbell and you feel like you need a little bit more weight, but you also maybe want the support of the wall, I'm speaking to what I want here. If you have the grip strength to tolerate it, you can bring 2 dumbbells into that right hand. And then you still have the left hand free to use the wall. That feels way better for me. Once you feel confident in your movement pattern, take your eyes forward. We look down, we're giving the nervous system the cue that we want to down regulate. And right now we do not want to down regulate. We want to up regulate all of those signals to the muscles so that we can effectively work the muscle group that we're working right now, really targeting the back of the right thigh and the right glutes. We're going to hold at that bottom range and add those little pulses in 3, 2, hold at the bottom range, take it back and down, up and forward, back and down, up and forward. See if you can pause, especially at that bottom range. For 10, stamp that right foot down, 9, 8, good, 7, 6, encourage yourself here, you're doing great, last 3, 2, and 1. Alrighty, switch sides. Set up in whatever way is going to be most meaningful for you, where you feel stable, but you also have the option to challenge yourself and then get right into it on the other side. Hinge back through the hips. Rest your left foot down into the ground to stand it on up. Inhale down. Exhale, push into the floor to rise. So the breath can be helpful, especially when I start to get tired. I'll drop into my breath a little bit deeper, and I find that I can dig down into those resources. Again, inhale down, exhale up. So we exhale on that exertion. It's totally normal and fine to forget every once in a while. Let's see if you can start coaching yourself to remember deep breaths, powerful exhales to come on up. About 10 more seconds and we add our little pulse. Just here for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take it down, pulse back and down, up and forward, back and down, up and forward, back and down, up and forward. Set the eyes forward. Keep pressing that left foot straight down, like you're trying to bury your foot into your ground, whether you're on carpet or hardwood or a mat. For 3, for 2, and 1. Okay. Reverse lunges. This time we're going to take a shorter set, so it's not a full minute. Let's start with the right foot forward. Option to use weight or not. I'm gonna play around with dumbbells in both of my hands this time. Step the left foot back, bring the left knee up. Just 40 seconds this time. Push into your right foot. Okay, keep your shoulders over your hips here when you come up and when you drop it back. So right now we're not working the glutes and the hamstrings quite as much. You may still feel them. I want to target the front of the thigh, quads. If you've got lighter dumbbells and you want to reach them up, when you come back, mine are a little heavy for that. Last 3. Switching legs in 2 and 1. Goodness. All right, this time left foot's forward. That means we're working the left leg. That's our working leg. And the right foot back, drop the knee. And come on up, right knee to your chest. 40 seconds here. Shoulders over your hips through this movement. Keep connecting to your front foot. So really feel the texture of whatever's underneath your foot. You're wearing sneakers, feel that connection. Hopefully you've got good arch support there. Final 10 seconds like this. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, we're setting up for another row. You can absolutely come back to that sideline variation, or we're going to use the chair for a supported single arm row. So we'll take the right hand onto the chair or whatever piece of furniture you happen to be using. Right foot's forward, dumbbells in my left hand. Square your chest down, and then you're going to row that left elbow up. Take about 1/4 of a turn to your left. Square the chest, let that arm come along. Don't reach for the ground, but let your left shoulder kind of round away from the spine. Pull it in. Long arm, and then pull in. So very much like we were, keep going, very much like we were doing it with that sideline row. When you extend your arm, your shoulder blade's moving away from the spine. When you squeeze it in, shoulder blade comes back toward midline. About halfway there. Option, if this isn't quite doing it for you, my favorite variation of a single arm row is actually a kickstand variation. So you can come down with your left hand underneath your left shoulder, left knee under left hip, bring your left toes back behind you, kick the right leg out a bit, and then same movement here, rotating the chest just a little bit to the right. You'll notice if you join me here, this does feel a little bit tougher. And that doesn't mean it's better. There's not a better or worse here. What helps you feel most connected to those muscles in the moving arm and shoulder. So a couple more strong reps. If you're with me in this kickstand, when you lower that dumbbell, press the dumbbell into the floor, feel your shoulder move away from the spine. So that little punching movement, you can get those muscle fibers to lengthen just a little bit more. And then contract nice and strong. Last rep. And we'll switch sides. All right, so your option is to come to the chair, taking that split stance lunge. I'll show from over here. And then rowing up toward your side. So it's the same movement pretty much, right? It's just how you're orienting yourself to the ground. If you're choosing your kickstand rows with me, press down through the right hand now, give that right arm a little break, and then row up through your left side. Kickstand row, punch that dumbbell down. Feel that shift. I'm exaggerating that movement so you can see it. Feel the shoulder move away from the spine and then feel it pull in toward midline. So we're almost done with our second set. About 2/3 of the way done with your workout already. This set, working the back body a lot, right? So we're working the upper back, as well as the glutes and hamstrings, so back side of the legs. We're also getting a little bit of quad and balance work. It's a pretty balanced workout overall for the full body. You may also notice your heart rate is up. Mine certainly is. Last couple smooth reps like this. Again, trusting your body. If it's giving you signals that it's done, be done. Last 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Okay, we're moving back to our hip hinge motion for our final hip hinge motion. The B stance RDL that we've done, great place to be, right? Little reminder, that's this business. So it's a little squat back. If you feel like you want to challenge yourself in a different way, not better, not worse, just different, you're going to bring your right toes onto a chair back behind you. You can come onto the top of the right foot or onto the toes of the right foot. And then the key to make this hip hinge is to hinge at the hips. So think about sending your butt back toward that chair. So that front knee stays over the front ankle. You can see on my screen here that I need to move that foot forward a little bit or kick the chair back a little bit. If you're feeling it in your glute and hamstring, you're probably A-okay. If you start to feel it more in the quad, that probably means your knee is jutting forward. So just be mindful of your path of movement here. Now, sometimes it's an experiment. It takes a little time to figure out exactly which path of movement is going to help you target the specific muscle group that we're working. And so this Bulgarian split squat business with the foot elevated might not make the most sense for your body. I know there are glute and hamstring exercises that just don't feel as meaningful or purposeful. I have a harder time connecting with. And then I just do something else. Final set of glute and hamstring here. I'm gonna do a little drop set, whether you are in your RDLs, your split stance, or your Bulgarians. We're gonna ditch the weight completely, carefully set those dumbbells down. And then we're just gonna move quickly here. Keep going. My chair is sliding back behind me. Make sure your chair is not gonna slide away from you. That's not the safest way to do this exercise. And then here we go, 20 seconds, up and down. Keep moving smooth and safe, but see if you can pick up a little speed and power, pushing that front foot down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch sides. Woo. Left glute, hamstring, cooked and done. Setting up either your Bulgarian split squats or your Romanian deadlift B stance, right? So you've either got both feet down or the back toes down, and you're taking your squat here. Or you've got your right foot forward, left foot to the top of the chair, whether you're on the ball of the left foot or the top of the left foot, does not matter so much as you feel the connection to your right back, thigh, and glute. Here we go. Imagine that you're trying to set your butt down in that chair back behind you. Eyes forward. I'm going to switch back to my V stance here. Just feel a lot more connected. Imagine that your right sit bone is pushing straight back from the knee. So try not to swivel the hips out to the right, but press straight back. Nice deep relaxed breath. Notice if you've got your teeth clenched, can you relax the jaw, the gums a bit? Send all that effort into your right leg and foot. Push down. Good. Pushing that foot down into the floor. We're going to ditch the weight in 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Ditch the weight carefully. And then here we go with our quick movement. Maybe you bring your hands to the wall, back and down, up and forward. Here for 5. Pushing into your front foot. And done. Woo. All right. Single leg reverse lunge last time. I'm going to skip all of the weights, so make sure that they're not in your way. You can absolutely use them if you choose to. Right hand to the wall, working through the left leg again. Bring your right knee back and then bring it forward. Take it back and bring it forward. Let's make this a real short set for 3. I'm shifting gears a little, 2 and a 1. Switch to the other side. So a real short single leg set. I'm going to take another exercise for the quads. So super great balance work. And I want to give your quads a second to actually get really well unhooked before we're done. So come to a kneeling position. Feet about hips distance, knees about hips distance. Stand up on your knees here. Neutral pelvis, or maybe even a slight tilt to the tailbone. Send your hips back and then lift your hips forward. Take it back and forward. Push into your shins. Try not to use a bunch of momentum here. If you need more, take the hips lower and just come halfway up. Ooh. Tiny tilt to the tailbone. Pushing into the shins, pushing into the tops of the feet. If this is not doing it for you, feel free to go back to those reverse lunges and maybe you alternate sides. So we're here for 30 seconds, either moving in this top half, full range, bottom half, or taking alternating reverse lunges. So switching sides. Last 10, 9, 8, 7, switching to rows in 6, 5, 4. Quads are done in 3, 2, and 1. Now we're done a little early. All right, setting up one more set of single arm row, and then we're cooling down. I'm sweating. So you can use your chair if that was feeling like a great variation of your single arm row. I quite like this variation, but because I don't have a heavier dumbbell with me today, I'm going to adjust into that kickstand variation, that side plank variation, because this dumbbell just feels like a little too light for the chair variation. Focus on that top arm. Remind yourself that you're moving your body, that you're exercising, that you're really challenging yourself on purpose to build strength, to build your body up, to train really healthy patterns of movement. So anytime you reach for something and bring it into your chest, a pet, a grandbaby, a big bag of pet food, whatever it is, you're engaging this movement. And the more we train this deliberately, consciously, the more naturally we're going to move in ways that are healthy and safe when we're not thinking about it, when we're just moving through our daily activities. Final 10, not reps, just seconds. Don't try and speed up here. Try and keep this movement nice and clean. Last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Switch to the other side. Almost there. Get right into it. I actually like to use my workout time as an opportunity to cultivate a really supportive and helpful inner dialogue. I think I am not the only one who maybe has a lot more self-criticism. A lot of the time we're our own harshest critics. And that internal chatter can be pretty intensely negative from time to time. So it's an opportunity while you're working hard to build yourself up, to remind yourself that you're strong, that you've got your back, that you're here for you. And that nothing that you're doing right now is coming from a place of punishment. It's all about self-care. Exercise is self-care. It sets us up to have the best possible experience throughout the rest of the day. Maybe from a longevity standpoint, especially these particular movement patterns, or hip hinge or single leg balance, and this row. Such common movement patterns. Ooh, I'm rambling. We're almost done. Last 3. Final 2. 1 more. Holy smokes. All right. Meet me in a seated position, whatever's comfortable for you. I'm going to sit back onto my knees. Sweep the arms up and around. Take a big breath. As you exhale, bend your elbows and extend your spine. Tip the chin up. Let the tailbone drop down back behind you. Stay here. Take a breath in. As you exhale, bring your hands toward heart center, round your spine, tuck your tail. Inhale, open the arms, take the chin up. Exhale, round your spine, nice and gentle. 2 more times, breathing big. Letting everything start to smooth out and calm down. 1 more, breathe in. Breathe out. Meet me on your back with your knees bent. Just take a little peek that you're not going to roll back onto a dumbbell. Not a good way to end your workout. Bring your hands to your kneecaps and then circle the knees. Nice and smooth, gentle movement. Someone is ready for dinner and a walk, I think, over here. Let's switch the direction of those knee circles. Let your pelvis move around. Maybe you let the eyes soften or close. Keep the knees bent, but step the feet down. Bring your arms to a goal post or a T, and then just windshield wiper your knees gently side to side. Let the exhales become a little extra long here. Maybe you take one of those nice open mouth exhales, sigh out anything that you want to leave here. What can you leave behind physically, mentally, emotionally? Just let it drain out of your body as you move the knees and the pelvis side to side. When you're ready, you can start to straighten the legs and bring the arms down by your side. Try and stay with yourself, stay with this closing moment of your workout. I know it's really tempting to just want to move right on to the next thing. See if you can give yourself and your body, your nervous system, just about 30 seconds to let everything relax and melt and settle in. You'll listen for my voice really shortly to close the workout together. And stay here just another moment. If it feels comfortable in your body, you can bring your legs together and zip up the legs, point the toes, take a long body stretch, sweep your arms back up over your head, draw in a huge breath, big breath, breathe in from the tips of the toes all the way to the crown of your head, sip in a little bit more breath at the top. Open your mouth, let it go. And take your time to transition to your side and then up to a seat. And when you land, bring your hands to your heart. Take 1 more moment to thank yourself for taking care of yourself in this way. You can check off movement from your self-care or to-do list. Thank you so much for sharing some time with me. Take good care of yourself. Stay well. Reach out if you have questions, and I hope to see you again real soon.